Hi, I'm Rachel. Welcome to my channel. This week I am reviewing woven tunic patterns. I did a woven tops review about 2 months ago, and somebody requested that I do tunics, and I've scrolled through the messages and I can't find the message you sent me, and I know you definitely did, so I can't name check you, so sorry, but if it's you, please put a note in the comments below. So this is my response. These are my favourite woven tunic patterns. There are 10. I've also got some new fabrics in the studio here and here. I'm going to talk about them at the end, where I got them from and what I plan to do with them. Anyway, let's begin the review. Before I launch into this, I just need to explain my criteria for a tunic. Over the head, it hits below the hips or below. So it's an easy on and off garment. So it's definitely not a blouse, and it hasn't got a front centre front fastening straight through detail on it. So those are my very basic criteria, and they are all wovens, and on the whole they tend to be quite straightforward. So a lot of them suitable for beginners or advanced beginners. So let's begin with the Style Arc Bessie woven tunic. Style Arc have got some really great tunic patterns actually. It was hard to choose because they've got quite a few. Particularly love this one, and they've got this clever tie detail which wraps either to the front or the back, so you can wear it either way. It's got 7/8 sleeves, a centre back opening within the centre back seam with a little button and loop fastening, and I think a front and back neck facing and a deep sleeve hem cuff. And they advise crepe, wash silk, linen and viscose, so something with a bit of fluidity to it, because obviously you've got this nice you've got these panels that you can tie at the front or the back, so you need it to be fairly fluid and not too stiff and crisp. That was my first choice. Moving on to one that I have to confess I included this last week, but I think it's such a good tunic that I wanted to include it again. It's the Vogue V1937, and this is actually also a dress. You can look at the link below and see that. The photograph that illustrates this has been made in 2 different fabrics, and it really shows the styling well. And they've also put what I think looks like maybe a velvet ribbon trim on it too, which I guess is optional. You could make it in all one fabric, but it's really nice the way that they've contrasted it here, and you can really see the detailing on it, and also in the working drawing, the line drawing, you can see the detailing on it. So it's got this nice really deep wide pleat detail at the front, with a nice black back yoke with a little bit of gauging, nice hem facing detail which are external, and lovely sleeves with this kind of lantern shape with this seaming detail in it. So you can do, I suppose you can do a contrasting fabrics like they've got here, or you can do the same fabric and highlight the seam detail to highlight that shape. And here that they've highlighted the seam detail with the ribbon and matched it to the neckline, which I think is lovely. Okay, now let's move on to Butterick. It's almost quite artist smocky, this one, and it's the B6982. And I should add, sorry, going back to the Vogue pattern I've just done, it's one size. Okay, so this one from Butterick, the B6982, is a tunic, sizes 8 to 16 or 18 to 26, loose fitting, pull over the head style again. It's got this really nice, quite a deep stand collar with gauging all the way around the front and back neck. It's got a centre front opening split. The raglan sleeve detail is really nice. It's got a button cuff. So you've got 2 different sleeve lengths here, one which the cuff is hitting you at the elbow, and the one which is a full sleeve, so it goes down to your wrist. And it's got a fairly deep stitched hem. It's just quite a classic sort of artist smock style, really, isn't it? And I like the way you've got the gauging all around the neck, which is echoed in the sleeve cuff as well, and that nice full sleeve. I particularly like the half sleeve, the one that just goes to the elbow. I think it's really beautiful. Okay, and as I said, Style Arc have got a really great selection. I wanted to feature the Sadie, but I don't think that pattern's available, so instead I've chosen this one, which is the Kent woven tunic from Style Arc. I'm going to make this in a couple of, well, I've started making it, but you're not going to see it for a few weeks. So again, another easy fitting tunic with a slightly angled front tab opening, and it's got a single concealed button, a narrow collar, drop shoulder. Sorry, they call it a mandarin collar. It's got a drop shoulder and these lovely full sleeves and a button cuff and a shaped hem. Really beautiful. I think, you know, you could make that. They say, I think they say sort of crepes and fluid fabrics, but I also think it would be nice in something more crisp, actually, and a sort of lightweight poplin. So you've got a bit of volume in it. So, you know, you could go either way with that. Okay, this next one, in fact, I've got two from this company. Schnittchen, I think that's right, patterns, the Katha tunic. I think this is a really easy wearable shape. I think it's really lovely with this simple centre front opening and placket detail, nice bust starting detail and body darts extending underneath, and a nice sleeve with a gathered gauging at the cuff and a curved hem. You can make this sleeveless or you can make it with the long sleeve, either or. You could colour block it with a contrasting panels at the top and the cuff and the collar. You know, there are all sorts of things that you can do there. I mean, they've made it beautifully here in this white, I think it's a textured sort of striped sort of woven jacquard by the looks of it, and it's just a beautiful shape. Another one from Schnittchen patterns. This is well, it's called a blouse, but it's very much a tunic because it's over the head. The Lara blouse, and I really like the A-line shape. It's also a dress. Here it's a tunic length, but there's a longer dress length, and it could be anywhere in between, depending on your preference. But have a look at the link. Have a look at the actual link and the pattern in more detail. So it's A-line. It's got this really nice V-neck detail with this notching on the neckline, a centre front inverted pleat. And then it's either got these long, well, no, they're not long, they're 3/4 sleeves, or a little sort of cap sleeve. And it's a bit kimono-y. And, you know, I do love a kimono. And I really like the fabric that they've made it. It's like a sort of jacquard border at the front of the front view here, which I think looks particularly great. But, you know, you could have a contrasting collar and the short sleeve tabs. I mean, you could even put a contrasting deep hem on it if you did a bit of a pattern hack. Lovely one there. So two from Schnittchen patterns. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Okay. Tessuti, a lovely easy shape in terms of easy to wear and quite easy to make. And it's the Athina top, and it's a really boxy tunic. I love the way they've made it here in this slightly sheer fabric, and it's a colour woven check. Sizes extra small to extra large. So it's a boxy tunic. It's got a very extended shoulder, a drop sleeve, and it is quick and easy to sew. And they've got it there in two lengths, but I mean, you could even extend it to a dress length, couldn't you? And put side splits in it. So a really easy, useful, versatile shape there. Sorry, my voice is going. I need some more coffee. Okay, moving on to a pattern from Maven. And I don't know why, but I don't know that I've featured any or many of their patterns before, but I really like them. Maybe they just haven't fitted my brief or my criteria before. But this is the Wendy Smock, and it's got a couple of variations, sizes small to extra large. It's generous and loose fitting with 3/4 length sleeves, bias bound neck and ties, depending on the neck option you do, and patch pockets. So you can either have a centre front tie, a side tie, or no tie at all. And I think the main picture, which I've used to illustrate this, is the simplest version, no pockets and no tie, and it would be my preference. So like an artist smock, it's lovely. A great piece. I mean, you could, can't remember whether that pattern actually extends to a dress. I mean, you could quite easily do. You could just make it much longer, and I would put side pockets in it as well. So that's the Wendy smock from Maven. Moving on to one from Simplicity. S9149, 2 size sets, 8 to 16 or 18 to 26. It's got 3/4 or long sleeves, and you can have either an asymmetric hem, which is the photograph version, or you can see in the line drawing one with a straight hem. So, you know, you can mix the options up. 2 sleeves, 2 hem lengths, either or. They've made it here, and it looks like a linen, a check linen, a really lovely, airy, easy piece for the summer. Okay, and last but not least, quite a sort of modern version of a tunic, I think, from Vikisews. This is their Demi blouse, sizes 34 to 52. It's got a relaxed fit. It's got front bust darts and back shoulder darts, centre back seam with a simple neck opening, and that must be a faced neckline, front and back. And it has got side slits, and it's slightly shorter at the front than the back. So it's a bit, I think that's probably a set-in sleeve as well. It's a bit more modern and a bit cleaner and a bit more formal than some of the other tunics that I've chosen, but I still think it was worthy of being included in that range of my top 10 tunics. So I hope you enjoyed that, and if you've made any of them, please give us some feedback on ones that you've made and maybe the fabrics you made them in. And there are loads of tunics out there, so please tell us about the ones that you've made and your favourites. I mean, tunics are such a versatile piece in anybody's wardrobe. I'm sure a lot of people make them on repeat, you know, once you found a pattern that you love. And if you have, please share that with us below. So I just wanted to end this video by talking about these new fabrics that I acquired only yesterday. They are from Rainbow Fabrics. I live in North East London, and I am fortunate enough to be near one of their outlets in Enfield. I don't live in Enfield, but I'm not that far from Enfield. So I dropped in there yesterday, and I bought these 2 lengths of fabric. So I have got some plans for them. And I will be doing a completely separate video to show you what I do with them. So if you don't know about Rainbow Fabrics, they are basically stockists of dead stock fabrics. They're based in London, and if you live in the UK and you go to the Knit and Stitch show or the Stitch Festival, they usually have a stand there every year. And I know they're super popular. I've bought fabrics from them before. I've got a really lovely leopard print cotton twill that I've made. The trend patterns drop shoulder coat, but I've made it jacket length that you may have seen in a previous video. That's from Rainbow Fabrics. So this one here it's an abstract print, and it is on herringbone jacquard base. It's quite fluid, so I'm thinking maybe a tunic, maybe even one of the tunics that I've talked about today. And that is Turkish fabric. This fabric here, I think it's either polyester or polyester viscose. I'm not sure of the fibre content, but this is dead stock fabric from Zara. I've got about 3-4 meters of it, so I might make separates, I might make a dress, not sure, but it's this beautiful semi sort of abstract print. So it's well worth a visit there if you're in London, and you can go to either their store in Kilburn or their outlet in Enfield. As I said, they also show at the Stitch Festival and the Knit and Stitch show at Knittington and Ali Pali in London, but I believe they also do other shows around the country, so do go to their website, and they're all about dead stock fabrics, which of course is a good thing. So as I say, I will be featuring these fabrics and some makes coming up, and also I should add they've got a website, and I think they probably sell overseas, so don't feel excluded. Check out their postal options, and they may well be able to send things to you. But all desktop fabric, end of lines, some really interesting prints for dressmaking and also for quilting as well. Very much worth a look. So that's it for this week. I hope you found it interesting and enjoyed it. And also, I asked last week if you would like to send in pictures of your makes. I've had lots of responses. Thank you very much. I'm collecting them all up. If you want to send me pictures of your makes and tell me a bit about yourself, where you live, and the pattern you've used, just any information you want to include, send them to this email address above. And I am planning a video in the future featuring all your makes, so you can be included in that. Anyway, that's it for this week, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye!